wide awake.
Oh, good. Good.
I guess I'll start. Your episode previously was very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you expect that kind of reception for your episode, especially since a lot of people loved it? And also, what were some of your favorite moments on the set?
Wow. And I did not expect the reception, and it's been, I try to really keep my expectations so low, and I've been, to say that I've been blown away is an understatement. I've been profoundly moved, and I can't believe it. I think I haven't maybe fully even taken it in. And you were saying most memorable days on set?
Yes, whether if it's episodes that aired previously or the ones coming up.
Well, I can't talk about any of the ones coming up, but there was tons of memorable days on that. I mean, definitely the Arkham stuff, as a lifelong Batman fan, putting that uniform on and being on that set felt very, very cool, to say the least. And also, all of my stuff with Colin, going toe-to-toe with each other. I adore him, and I love acting with him. So I don't know, it's kind of even too many. I loved the yellow dress with the table scene with my family. It was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What were some of the most challenging aspects of not only having your hand on creating some aspects of the show, but also bringing that Penguin character to life?
Well, I wanted to do right by the Penguin. I grew up reading comic books. I always really was fascinated by the Penguin character, and I appreciated also that there hadn't been so many iterations of that character, so I felt like there was a level of freedom there. I wanted to do right by what Matt established in the movie, and Colin's performance, which is so electric when he shows up on screen. But I also wanted to dig deeper into him and just make this a psychological character study of this guy, but have it be fun, because Oz is a fun guy, even though he's totally terrible and does all these violent things. He's engaging and charming, and I hope you empathize with him. Hopefully you don't make excuses for him, but you see him fully for who he is. And so there was a level of that, certainly, that was challenging, of just making sure I'm honoring the things that have come before and trying to, create new canon and try to break the mold of the genre a little bit, and do something different.
We saw a scene that we saw earlier today at the panel. How did you prepare for that, especially since you had to strip down?
It was brutal. That was, we did a rehearsal of that scene, a week or so before it. And it was chilly that day, but not brutal. It was really chilly the day we actually shot it. And it's on a concrete floor, and you're wet. And they were so kind, and they brought in heaters, and they did all this stuff, and they used warm water when they dumped it on me. It still was fucking freezing, and it still was fucking brutal. It was so hard. But there's nothing you can do to prepare yourself for that besides know your fucking lines and go in there and try and do your best, man, because, you can't prepare yourself for that. You can't prepare yourself for how you're actually going to be tied up. And that was the other hard part. They literally had to chain me up and all that shit. That's a real horse bit in my mouth. I mean, yeah, they had plastic on it, but it was really uncomfortable. It was tough. Still, oh my God, you're underground. And here's the funny part. I said in the big room in there, that was the last scene that I owed. We went to shoot it. 2 people showed up to picket that day for the strike. They sent us all home. Went back to shoot it a week later. 12 people showed up. They sent us all home. And then the third day, they were like, the union's on strike, and everything was shut down. So I went to shoot. That was the last thing I owed on the show. So then for months during the strike, it just hung over me like a fucking dark cloud. I was like, oh my God. And there was even more lines than what you see. Quite often you film a lot more, and then they cut it up. They cut it up a decent amount where I was like, fuck, man, just to have that memorized and just keep running it in your head for 6 months, laying down every night to go to bed, and you're running that monologue in your head. It's tough. Nothing you can do to prepare for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.